Hello, how are we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and welcome to part 2. We are cleaning cards for PSA shipment 2, our second PSA shipment. We are doing the football part. I explained in the first video, watch that if you haven't, how there are 3 different groupings because you have to, if you do it all together, you have to pay for the most expensive type. But if you say this card here is paying $50 to get it authenticated, and then this group of cards I'm paying $19.99 because they're not part of the special, and this group of cards I'm paying $15.99 because they are part of the special, well, then you can get more cards done for the same amount. But it does take more effort to get them all, because you have to do the extra work because it's 3 shipments. Now, this amount here, that's how many cards we have left to do of the football. The football is the July deal, so we paid less to get these graded than the last 2 videos. The next 2 videos, part 3 and part 4, those cards were more expensive to grade. So we'll get this figured out. We will switch over to the scene where we get them. Not that one. Yep, that was it. Okay. And we will get them cleaned and graded. Cleaned up and sleeved so we can send them off. Now keep in mind, somewhere in the 4 videos, we have 8 cards that were picked out of Sugar White's collection, the stuff he leaves here with me. He does not know. Was it 8? It was up to 8. It was 6 to 8. He has some cards. I think it's 8. I'm going to stop saying. I think it's 8. I pulled 8. I have a list. I have it listed on a Google sheet. But I think it's 8 cards. He said, give me 6 to 8 cards. Don't tell me what they are. And I'd rather be surprised. And so what I did was I picked, I believe, 8 of his cards. I'll double check. And I randomized them in here throughout. I'm not going to tell him which cards they are. I'm not going to tell him on these videos which cards they are. Some of these are his cards. Some of them will be obvious if you've been paying attention. Others you won't know. You won't know for sure. Maybe this one. Maybe that one, etc., etc. I went through his stuff and pulled what I would send if they were my cards, is what I essentially did. So this first card here, we did in a sorting cards for grading purposes episode, and it was one of the sets we broke was the 1991 Pro Set Update. And this card, although it is not going to get a 10, I wish it would, but now that I'm looking, that bottom corner is going to probably prevent it. But still, it is a John Randall rookie card. Now, the reason this one slid up into getting to go now is really because I'm going to be showing these cards to, I always show the cards to Shane, but Shane's going to have a extra interest in these cards this time because he's sending some of his cards as well. We cleaned his cards in the first video. And he is a Minnesota guy. He loves the Twins and the Vikings. This would be a big deal if this one came back at 10. I don't think it will now that I'm looking at it. But the whole thought was, it's in good condition. It's John Randall. It's a rookie. Let's do that. And let Shane look at it and go, wow, that's awesome. I'm happy that you got that done. It probably would be up here somewhere, generally. For my personal, but I'm more looking at it from the how it works into my world and less how I want it myself. All right, I need to make sure that I'm grabbing the penny sleeve as well. I don't want to be scratching it up against the plastic. All right, so this card is one we pulled ourselves. It is a Dynagon Justin Herbert from Chronicles. Now, I know the Chronicles stuff is not a big sell, but I have seen my share of Chronicles cards fetch big prices when the rookie is a stud. It is a rookie card. It does not matter that it's not their prism or their, whatever. It is a rookie card, and people want X player, insert amazing player here is rookie. And because of that, the Dynagon from Chronicles is kind of one of the two. This and the Black Prism are the two rarest and most sought after, at least of that set at that time. So Herbert, I have my concerns about Herbert going forward. They brought in a coach who was big with the running game. He's a defense running game type of coach. And hell, last time he was in the NFL, he went to the I almost said the World Series. He went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. So I suspect that the amount of throwing that Herbert does will decrease. And with him losing his top two receivers, and his top two receivers are now Josh Palmer, which is, fine but not a stud receiver. And then the next two are a rookie last year who hasn't performed yet, and a rookie this year who you don't know what you're getting. He may drop off statistically, which will drop off the desire to have him. His cards sell well, not Joe Burrow well, but his cards sell pretty well, and I'm hoping to keep. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, and he starts to rebuild that collector fan base that really gets him those cards worth selling. So we'll see how that goes. All right, this one is we did with a sorting video. We opened the 1990 Fleer update set for football, and there's an Emmitt Smith rookie right here. There's also a Junior Seau rookie that was the bottom card on this board but got pushed off. So it's one of the first cards not into the next shipment, depending on how big the next shipment is. And but yep, the Emmitt Smith rookie. Emmitt's one of my. He was one of my guys. He slipped off in terms of how much where he stands on my favorite running backs list. But while he was playing, first of all, he's a Gator, and I went to college. I used to go to class. One of my classes, I'd go to class, and Monday and Friday. It was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, and he would be coming out of the classroom as I was going in the classroom. I was like, "That's Emmitt Smith. That's Emmitt Smith." And that we're talking about. That was after he already won a Super Bowl. So he was returning to college and doing classes. It was amazing, actually. I think he had won the Super Bowl. He was definitely in the NFL by that point, because that's the only reason I knew him. I didn't know him because he was a running back at UF, but he was already in the NFL. I'm assuming he won the Super Bowl by that time. But he had to have. But so there's Emmitt Smith. He was my running back at that point in his career while that was going on. Once I became a fan of a different team, because everyone became Cowboy fans in the 90s, in the mid to late 90s. I was like, wow, everyone's bandwagoning on this team. I am off and left. That's when I started really liking Barry Sanders, and Emmitt kind of fell down the list for me then. I know that there are at least two people in front of him, and that's Barry and LaDainian Tomlinson, who are my two favorite running backs of all time. I just don't know. I've never really made the list after that, so I should someday. But for now, he's still all-time leading scorer, rusher. He's a Gator. There's so many reasons to get that card graded, and if it comes back high enough, that one will not be getting rid of. If it comes back at 10, I will be keeping that just because it's a Emmitt Smith rookie. Emmitt Smith, go Gators. A lot of these other ones, if they come back a 10, I mean, the cards are I after looking at what came back in the last shipment, there are several cards I was like, well, I was getting rid of this, but now that it's here and it's a 10, I think I'm keeping it. And I find that's going to be the case of how I run things. Most of this I'm sending off, and either it's going to be a Jalen Hurts rookie like this. We just talked about the Dynagon from the Justin Herbert. This is the Jalen Hurts version. Same set. Probably pulled at the same time. But I either am going to get a 10 on this and then sell it because it's Jalen Hurts and I don't care. Or I'm going to get a 10 on something and then be like, well, it's a 10 and I kind of want that, so it stays. And that's kind of how it. And then if anything's a 9 or an 8, it's like, okay, get rid of it. I'll try to get a 10 some other time. And that's how most of the stuff is happening. If it's not a 10, get rid of it. If it is a 10, I might keep it. The best example I can give is the Nolan Ryan and the Shaq rookie. Not the Nolan Ryan rookie. The Shaq rookie, the Stadium Club Shaq rookie, and the Nolan Ryan 89 upper deck with the 3 Nolan Ryans on it. Totally planned on getting rid of both of those, but then when I get them back with a grade of 10, I don't know I want to get rid of them. I think I'm keeping both of those cards. All right, here we go. This is one we got out of a box that we opened. We opened 91 upper deck. I think the card's in good condition. We pulled it straight ourselves. I don't know that this card has a lot of value, even if it did come back at 10. But I think this is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. I love this card so much. And this is my favorite running back of all time. And the idea that this hologram, I do love hologram cards. I know that hologram cards are hard to get good grades on. And I have a ton of hologram cards that I want to get graded. Not a ton, but I have quite a few hologram cards I want to get graded. And it's just now dawned on me that I have a handful of them that I think I would have rather stick in this group than the stuff that I did. Oh well, they'll have to go up there. I'll have to find them and put them up there. But I'm worried that because it's a hologram, you see the scratches and stuff. I'm not sure how many of those scratches are scratches and how much are hologram lines and stuff. But I can't wait to see what the grade is, and I hope for something really nice with this card. I'm a big fan. I do know that these, I can tell just by holding it, that these cards are much thinner than a traditional card, which makes them easier to slide in here, but also less resistance, so there's a slightly better chance of bending it, getting it in there. But it went in pretty clean. Love those hologram cards. A little sad that they don't do hologram cards like they used to. But alright. So we kind of talked about this one. What I did was I just kind of put the cards in order. We talk about it. There's a video of how I did it for these. Essentially, I'll take a card and say, okay, and then I'd rather this than that, but not this, and then I'll put it there. I did that with these cards as well, and they're not in order right now because they've been shuffled. But that green Justin Fields got done first because it is a numbered and a better set, legacy and a numbered card, whereas this is just a short parallel of his Donruss rookie. Now, I am a fan of the rated rookie logos. I love that. You've heard me say that a million times. So, honestly, of the two, I like this card better. But it's getting graded for the same reason. I have no love for Justin Fields. I do not believe Justin Fields has much of a career going forward. He will back up until there is a reason to bring him in, give him a chance, and then he will be mediocre. And then he ends up on a team, and same thing happens until his career is over. I just don't think he's a pro-level quarterback. That being said, having it ready, it's all about having it ready when it's time. Most of these cards are not worth getting graded in the grand scheme of things. I'm aware of that. But if I can have the right card ready at the right time, it can pay for having all these cards graded. Keeping track of every dime I spend doing this, and then say, well, I was able to sell this card because it went through the roof. Justin Fields came in week 3, and all of a sudden he runs them to the Super Bowl after an 0-3 start, and this card here sells for $400. Well, it would suck if I didn't have it ready. So that's what it needs to be done. All right, so then this one here has been in my collection for years. I had a handful of Stadium Club 1999 NFL draft pick Stadium Club cards like this, Stadium Club Chrome. I had like 6 or 7 of them. Torrey Holtz and a lot of stars, but not superstars. No one spectacular, I don't think, but still, it was a good collection. But over the years, they got stuck to the sleeve that they were in, and they got all sorts of shading, and like it looked like people blow on them. They were little huff spots type thing, and that's not what it was. It's just damage over time. And this is the one card of the group. I actually had 2 of the Champ Baileys, but this is the one card of the group, I think, that survived in good condition. So, to hopefully not have that happen anymore, we're going to get it graded and put in a slab so that we can, protect it and make sure it doesn't get any worse. And by any worse, I mean worse at all, bad at all, because it is in very good condition. And Champ Bailey is, one of the greats at that position. It's not a lot of Washington Redskins that I would consider getting graded. But Champ is one of them that really one of the best at his position. He's a really good player right there. So I love that. I love the look of the card. I love when the hologram, the chrome. We get chrome all the time, but this chrome looks so much better than just a silver sheen that reflects those rainbows, which is what most of the Prism Chromes are. It has a completely different look on the front. I don't even know how to explain it, but if I had the non-chrome version here, you could just see the difference between that and a regular Stadium Club card. So that's kind of cool. All right, this one here we talked about as well, in the sense that when we're talking about we talked about his Prism draft picks card. I thought that every one of the Donruss Elite rookies had that pink, but then when I was listing it on was just a fuzz. Good. When I was listing it on PSA, this card came up, and I saw that there is a regular version, and just the blasters that we bought, all the rookies in those blasters were pink. So there's the only way to get them was through the blasters that we did breaks out of. Not just the ones that we did breaks out of, but I mean the style that we did breaks out of. Were pink, and then there were other colors, blues and reds, and in other products, and even some non-colored ones that I'm assuming are rarer than, are easier to get than these, or considered less, because these are considered a variant, and those are not. But we did not get a single rookie out of this product that wasn't pink, so that makes me think that these are less, like it's easier to get these than it is to get the ones that aren't colored. But I also think that as we go on, history is going to kind of forget that point and think of the pink variation as a better option or a better want, because it is a variation to the regular one, and thus these will be priced more. But it's a T-Law rookie, and that's what you're looking for, T-Law rookie. Just like with the Green Wave we did, you want to get these guys graded. It has to be. I talked about this last video too. We did the 2 Bryce Youngs. I said there's a third one I think is in this set. I mean in this grouping, but if not, it would be up there, and it's not, so it has to be here. This is it. It's his. This is his base in that set. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Prism. This is Mosaic. It was a break that had Prism, and it had Prism draft picks and Mosaic in it. And I also have his, in Mosaic, they have his, there's a second one, not first appearance, but I forget what it's called, but they get 2 cards. They get their base rookie, and then they get one that's turned horizontally. And those, you put in the chat down below. I'll think about it. I'll think about it and see if I can remember what they're called. But yeah, I got the Prisms, and I got those. And then this one I got in the same break. So it was a really good. I did pretty good in that break for the Panthers, getting 3 Bryce Youngs. I also got 3 or 4 Jonathan Mingos. And like the same thing, I got the Red Wave from Prism. I got one of these. Pretty much the same exact cards I got for Bryce Young. I got the Jonathan Mingo version too. Problem is, it's Jonathan Mingo. It's not like anyone wants that Jonathan Mingo card. So we are going to send the Bryce Youngs along with the other Bryce Youngs, because that's what we do. Get them graded and see what we can do. I feel like the cards that came back in the first shipment, after the fact, they were all cards that I really wanted for myself, or for the most part like that. I thought were great cards to get graded. This one, I feel like there's a lot more focus on, yeah, this card is a cool card, and if it comes back high, this would be a good one to sell. For example, this next card here is a Jalen Waddle rookie. So our second Jalen Waddle rookie we're doing. And it is a green Mosaic. So I think that this one, if it got a good enough grade, would be a great one. But I have even if it came back a 10, I have no desire to keep it. It's Jalen Waddle. I'm more interested in what cards I can sell this time. This one definitely, the last one had a lot of 90s and 80s cards and stuff like that, which are harder to get good grades on. This one, I have a lot more 2020 rookies. And we did pretty good with the 2020 cards we sent. So we're looking for higher grades, not because I look at the cards and see that they're in better condition, but because I look at the cards and see that they're at a better year, a closer year, and quality control has gone up a lot since then. So these cards tend to come out better than they were. There's a term for that too. You can look at 10 rate. It's a rate, something rate, where you can see the 1,000 cards are graded, and 600 of them came back 10s, and 300 of them came back 9s, and so and the 2020s, that happens a lot more than these 80s cards. So again, the Bryce Youngs, both Jalen Waddles, both Bryce Youngs, Trevor Lawrences, like the only one I would even consider would be one of those Trevor Lawrences. The rest of them, it's all get them going, and we'll sell them off. Again, and this is a perfect example here. Why am I getting this card? A Brandon Ayuk Chronicles Pinnacle Purple variation graded. Like, do I like Brandon Ayuk more than Nico? No. Nico is the bottom card. It's the same exact card, just a different year, is the Nico Collins. I like the Nico Collins better. But this one gets pushed up because he will get traded between now and the trade point in the season, or they'll sign him. Either way, his card prices will go up when that happens. If all of a sudden he's a New York Jet, or he's a Las Vegas Raider, or he gets a 4-year contract from the did I? Nope, I did not. I pulled it out and I didn't even wipe it. Or he gets a 4-year contract from the San Francisco 49ers, his card prices will go up. And me making sure that I have this card graded so I can get some value out of it when it's time is the plan. Now, there's a line in this card that I'm seeing right now that I'm wondering if that's... but it's not like... It's a weird line. It's like a line... Can't even see it really. There you can like that. You see it right there where the light is, straight up and down through his arm all the way. But it's kind of how the card is printed is with this weird texture to it, and that's kind of part of the texture. So I don't know. You can see it's not like my camera's blurry. The other cards are not blurry. This card's not blurry. But this one kind of comes out blurry because that's the texture that the card has. So hopefully that's what they look at that and don't hold it against the card. But either way, if that one could come back a 9 or a 10, it's a Brandon Ayuk rookie. It's funny because back in that day when we were breaking this stuff, it wasn't the rookie year. It was like we were in 2022 and this was 2021 or whatever. I'm not sure what. Yeah, drafted 2020. So we're breaking 2020 product to try to get Burrows and stuff. But we were in 2021 and 2022. And Brandon Ayuk was like, oh yeah, if you get the 49ers, you get Brandon Ayuk, but you don't really get anything because he was a no one. He wasn't Deebo Samuel, who was the guy there. And now with all this, and with Deebo's injuries the last year and a half, 2 years, and Ayuk performing, and now wanting a contract and wanting a trade, now I'm wishing that all those cards, and I probably have a bunch of those cards somewhere. I wish they were all there and ready to go and trade and grade them and sell them, but it goes to show you don't know year one. You don't know. It takes 3 to 4 years to really know if a guy is if they're worth using the 5th year option on, much less grading their cards. And those are two different situations too. In most cases, it's worth grading more than it's worth taking a 5th year option, because again, someone has a good 2 or 3 stretches in a game, and all of a sudden, his cards go up and it's worth selling. So, all right. So our last card is our second Justin Herbert. It is a Chronicles Gridiron King Purple variation. I don't think that this has a lot of value to it. Even as a 10, it probably is barely worth what I'm paying to get it graded for. But I do have a collection of graded cards that are, I have like 3 collections. I have my PC, the stuff I'm keeping. I have my get rid of, the stuff that I'm going to be selling on Whatnot or trading, whatever. And then I have a third one that is hold on to this. There will be a point. I mean, a lot of these will be hold on to this and sell it at the right time. And even though it's probably only worth $20 to $25 if it's a 10, there will be a point where his cards bump and this one will get up to $45, $50 before it comes back down, and I'll just have to get rid of it during that time. Alright guys, like I said, these are going to be slightly shorter videos than last time, or at least we're going to try. We're going to do stacks of that size. I have 2 more videos worth. Probably could have taken the next stack and cut it in half, and did half in this video and half in the next video, and made it only 3 videos. The problem is that's the end of the football. Everything else is the baseball, wrestling, Star Wars, whatever, you know, a bunch of different stuff. So these are all the cards that we got graded for $15.99 a piece, I think, something like that. And then the next ones are the $20 a piece. So that'll be it for this. We're going to add these to these ones we already did over here in the first video, and we will be back in the next video shortly with more cards to clean for our second PSA shipment. I'll see you guys then.